We are here today to try to be one of the first 1,000 players to complete the Gilded Ruin Modern Warfare 4 camo event. If we are successful, we will earn a one-of-one serialized camo that will be ingrained in Call of Duty history forever, or for as long as people actually remember that it exists. So what do we have to do to earn this camo? We are going to get 5,000 skulls by eliminating enemies across all the different game modes. So for end game, you get 5 skulls per elimination, meaning you need 1,000 eliminations in order to unlock the camo. In multiplayer, you will get 10 skulls per elimination, meaning you will need 500 kills in order to earn it there. Zombies, it's 1 skull per elimination, meaning you'll need 5,000 eliminations. And in Warzone, you will get 30 skulls per player elimination, meaning you'll need about 167 player kills in order to earn it there. So we have about 3 minutes until this challenge is live. Me personally, I'm going to attempt to go for it in Zombies. I played a little bit of the new event today. Tried out the new survival map. It feels a bit more difficult than the other survival maps, but we are going to hop into the nuked survival map to try to get this done. It's going to be really hard to beat 100,000 people to this, especially knowing that there are like multiplayer and Warzone demons, because if you are a demon, you will complete it much faster in those game modes than you will in endgame or zombie. But I am not one of those demons, which means my best shot is to play Zombies. I'm expecting it to take roughly around 2 to 2.5 hours. I don't think that's going to be fast enough, but we are going to give it the old college try. For my loadout, of course, gotta go with the 1911s. Gonna be pulling out the Perkaholic, the Hidden Power, Gift Card, and Armageddon. I think these are just gonna make it go way faster, as well as an ammo just in case. You never really know if you're gonna need some ammo at some point, especially using the 1911s. So everything else is just kind of what I use normally. I don't think on this map there's anything that's going to make it like a ton easier. I mean, maybe I could change this for like Toxic Growth or something like that. Mostly it's just there's an oh shit button, but either way, the goal here is to get kills as quickly as possible. All right, we are now on the clock. We have got to get 5,000 eliminations. I think I'm going to try to go for 2 games of 2,500 each. Might as well throw on some tokens real quick. I'm really hoping that these will carry over into MW4 because I have some saved up. But man, it has been a while since I've done one of these videos. And there we go. We are fully ready to go. The reason I picked this map was just because you can get to Pack-a-Punch like off rip. You don't have to wait for anything. I'm also hoping that I get a bunch of these TED tasks that I can just ignore. Yeah, melee kills. I'm not going to be getting melee kills. I can just run around here and it's going to spawn all these zombies, and I'm assuming that these count. Obviously, I don't know for 100% sure, but I feel like it's safe to assume. So if I can abuse a lot of these, that means I can get many more kills than I'm actually technically supposed to on these early rounds. And that's kind of the entire strategy that I'm banking on. So there also aren't any specials on this map, so no special spam. It's going to also, I think, make it just a lot better to go through. I'm using the Spectre operator today, partly because it just came out for this season, but it was one of my most used operators in Black Ops 3. But I feel like in this version they made him sound like such a chud. Like I do not remember. Like I always knew Spectre was like pretty edgy or whatever. But they made him sound like super nasally. I wonder if, I kind of wish they would make a gobble gum that would make rounds go even faster. They have gums that will like slow rounds down, but I feel like even with this this rampage inducer on, these first rounds go so slowly. So being able to speed up spawns with a gum would be kind of nice. Although it might make something like this like pay to win, I guess. But throw fireworks on these bad boys. Yes, dude, another one that I can just ignore. I've gotten really lucky, I think. Although I guess it could be argued that in these early rounds, like the spawns just aren't really fast enough to justify like not blitzing through them. You know, I feel like in the later rounds when spawns are much faster, you're really going to be able to take advantage of these kinds of rounds. So I could actually be slowing myself down right now. I also probably should change my Wisp to like the really aggressive one. So I don't really want to distract zombies. I want them to die. So I'm curious what y'all's opinions are on the progression of zombies this year. It feels like it's taking forever to get through all these augments, and like I already had all the augments possible coming into the year. So if you were a new player who didn't play Black Ops 7, like there's not a chance that you have all these augments unlocked unless this is all you've been doing for the entire year. Which, like, that's entirely possible, don't get me wrong, but the fact that it's season 5 and I still don't have all the augments done, and I played this game a pretty good amount. I've taken my breaks to like play Marathon and other games like that, but I'm still like completing the battle pass every single season, which, you know, doesn't take that long, I guess, but I'm still putting significant time in every single season, and I still don't have all these upgrades. It's just insane. I should probably get a bullet weapon so when these insta kills are going on, I can take advantage of a bullet weapon. What is this? Inmate. Oh, it came with a launcher on it. A smoke launcher on it. I need to set some zombie builds, man. Let me pick up this MXR. That'll be a bit better suited. I wonder if there's some curse mode relics that would make this even better as well. Like, I know there's one that reduces the spawn, or like takes away the spawn delay as well. I mean, that's kind of what the Rampage Inducer does too. Alright, we're at about 1700 elims, 24 minutes in, so this is working roughly about as fast as I thought it would, which is good. So yeah, it's gonna be roughly about like 2.5 hours. My mom is calling me. This is a really bad time. Okay, short little 2-minute break to help my mom out. Your mom is always more important. Don't forget that. Matter of fact, tell your mom that you love her right now. Pause the video. Tell your mom that you love her. And your dad too. And your sister. You know, tell everybody that you love them. Fuck it. World could use a little bit of that right now. The plan really, I think I might have already said it, but as I'm in here thinking about it, it might just be like go for as long as I can, up to like a ceiling of 2,500 with the sallies until it starts getting to a point where like it's not really killing all that effectively. So once that happens, obviously the progression is going to slow down to a crawl, and at that point it's not worth it anymore, so you're just going to want to reset. So I'm sitting at about 1800. I think I'll be probably around 35 or so. I think the Sally should still be good around that time, because I think that's roughly when I'll hit 2,500 kills. I thought about trying to get the Wonder Weapon out of the box for this, because I haven't used it. I kind of want to use it, but I just think it'll take too much time to sit there and hit the box over and over. Even with a Wonder Bar, like you're probably going to be pulling out a bunch of like ray guns and stuff. So unless you get it like first try, I feel like it's kind of a time loss. I wish all the zombies that you kill with a nuke would count for elims. Maybe not like towards the gun that you're holding or anything, like camo gunning purposes. But it would definitely be nice for it to count for something at least. Okay, so it's actually around 30. I'm getting there a bit faster than I thought I would. Yeah, I mean, this strategy with abusing the TETAS, it's working out very nicely. It's also about the time that I'm starting to like need to two-hit everything with these sallies. So I do think it might be just about reset time. And it took pretty much exactly 30 minutes to get here. So yeah, it's going to be about an hour until I'm done with this. A lot faster than I thought I was. Yeah, I'm at 2,500. We're just going to go ahead and leave match. And we're going to get this thing spun right back up. Come on, come on. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Play again. Check the event. Yep, about 2,500 out of 5,000. So should just be another 30 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and pop another 15. I'm so curious if anybody has completed it yet. I know there's some absolute demons out there, man. Plus, you know, you also kind of have to take into account cheaters too. But I wish there was a keybind to where I could automatically pop a gum straight from the machine. Like it wouldn't go into holding. That would be kind of nice. Call of Duty confirmed that in both the Black Ops 7 and the MW4 beta, they're going to be going back to a classic matchmaking system. Now, I'm pretty sure they already said that's what the open matchmaking system was supposed to be, so I'm a little confused on that. And I know a lot of other people were too. Obviously, people all over Twitter are saying, wait, isn't that what open matchmaking was supposed to be? So they're going to continue to offer the open matchmaking system, which I think people on like the very top end, it definitely disproportionately affected them to where they're in harder lobbies. But for most normal people, like for me myself, I really couldn't tell. Like I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 2 ports recently too, so like I'm very familiar with how the classic matchmaking system has felt for me personally. And I feel like open matchmaking has been pretty much the same for someone of my skill level. Like you get the odd match where there's a ray gun. What? You get the odd match where like you'll find some absolute demons, right? But for the most part, it feels like it's just normal people. You do see like a wider gap between like the top and the bottom in both matchmaking systems for sure. But if the classic matchmaking system is what open matchmaking was supposed to be, it's kind of damning to hear them admit that it actually hasn't been that way this entire time. And that'll definitely vindicate a lot of people who said that it definitely didn't feel right, especially after the Black Ops 7 beta. And so I'm definitely curious to hop in and try that out. It's currently in Black Ops 7. It's going to be in MW4 beta. But they also came out with a secondary tweet to sort of explain themselves and what it means. And so what they said specifically, I'll put it up on screen. They said, "We've seen your questions about the difference between open and the new system. The new system builds on what we've learned with smarter team balancing, wide match variety, improvements that help keep matches full, and a better experience for mixed level parties. We believe these changes will deliver a better overall experience for all players with the variety players love from classic Call of Duty. Open playlists will continue to be available in Black Ops 7 and the MW4 beta. We'll keep listening and learning from player feedback and match data to refine the system to make every match more fun." So it seems like, obviously with the success of the ports, people can obviously tell that the matchmaking system, while very similar on the very top end at least, there's a very obvious difference between the two. And so hopefully this will sort of close that gap. Like hopefully every now and then when I'm recording or something, I can get into a match with somebody like Jeff or Scump. You know, it used to be not a regular occurrence. It was still really rare unless you lived in the immediate like Dallas area where, you know, the Optic players are, that you would actually get into a match with people like that. Now, I don't live in that area, but I do think I use Texas servers whenever I play. So who knows? Maybe I'll get into some more matches with pro players using this new matchmaking system. Sorry, this classic matchmaking system. I don't want to say it's new because it's obviously not. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it down below. Like it kind of feels like the secondary tweet is just a whole lot of nothing, really. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like it didn't really clarify the differences between the two systems. But at least from what I've heard and from what I've experienced, it really should just be like the very top end of players that can really feel a difference. And I am definitely not like the top end of players. Like I do think like with this matchmaking system, I've been able to do pretty well. Like for the first time in a long time, I actually have like above a 1.1 or a 1.3 KD. Like I think I'm sitting at like a 1.75 or something like that. So that's proof in and of itself for even players like me who aren't on the very top end. There's still like a verifiable, measurable difference between what the MW19 matchmaking system and what the Black Ops 7 matchmaking system was able to offer, right? Like it didn't do nothing. I do hear people try to claim that the matchmaking system is just the same as it was in MW19 and the games before, and that's just verifiably not true. It's measurably, demonstrably not true. But obviously for players of much higher skill, I do think it was different. So if you are one of those players who, you know, regularly is at like a 2.5 plus KD, I'm interested to see if you guys hop in and are able to notice much of a difference at all for yourselves. if you're even still playing the game. I think most people have kind of hopped off Black Ops 7 for the Black Ops ports. I'm really excited to hop into the MW4 beta, though. I can't lie to you. It seems like Infinity Ward is learning how to find a balance between like this super realistic stuff and actually having fun with the game, or at least what I would consider fun. Like, it seems like you're not going to be punished for moving around, but it's not going to be, you know, all the way to the levels of Black Ops 7. I do still wish that we had Omni movement and we could just tone the speed of it down to be a little bit more, you know, in line with with IW's vision for what they want the movement to be, but it still looks incredibly fluid, and I think that's really the most important thing, is for it to feel fluid and for it to feel like you can play the way that you want to play. And I think MW4 is going to be a game that really showcases that COD can be both. Although I will say that the hype for it is kind of not there, or at least a lot less than I kind of assumed it would. Like, it seems like every time we get an Infinity Ward game that the casuals eat, and so I kind of expected casuals to want to come back to the game because, you know, they're offering something that would appeal more to them. But yeah, I'm still sort of seeing that, like, hey, we don't care, we have the Black Ops ports, which is a little surprising to me. Not super surprising, because like obviously Black Ops 2 is, in my opinion, the greatest Call of Duty of all time, and especially going back and playing it now, I know that that's not just nostalgia. I think MW2 glaze, honestly, a lot of times is just nostalgia. I think if we had a game like MW2 today, I definitely don't think it would receive the praise that Black Ops 2 is still currently getting. I mean, it was a buggy, unbalanced mess, man. I mean, dude, there was so much cheese in MW2. One-man army noob tubes, the death streaks. So much of it was just not great, man. Really fun back in the day for what it was, but, you know, I think by modern standards, I don't think it holds up anywhere near as good as Black Ops 2 does anyways. It's still definitely iconic. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here trying to say that MW2 doesn't deserve the praise that it got and like the standing in people's minds. It does deserve it. I think especially after playing Black Ops 2 in 2026, I think it's pretty clear to me that that is not a game blinded by nostalgia. I was watching a C-Preds video the other day, which he got to play MW4 at Fanatics Fest, so he was kind of talking about that, but he talked about like potentially going back to like the pick 10 system. And I don't remember if it was Matt Schrantz or if it was somebody else from Black Ops 7 or somebody else from the Black Ops team, but he said something along the lines of, we want to bring back pick 10. We hear that a lot of people want it, but like the problem is that they don't really know how to fit it into the modern system, like with blueprints and stuff like that, because obviously they have to be able to monetize it, and you just can't monetize it as much with the pick 10 system. But I feel like there's definitely a way that we could do it. Like what I said on his video was basically there is a way to do it. You would just have to bump it up to like a pick 13 system or a pick 14 system, you know, something like that, where you have more base attachments like available, right? I think you know, basically it would be like you would have 4 attachment slots base if you did like a pick 13, because you have, what is it, one attachment slot normally, unless you put on gunfighter, and then you can have 2 attachments. So yeah, you can make it like a pick 13, so you have 4 base attachments, and then from there, if somebody puts gunfighter on, you have a maximum of 5 attachments on a gun, which is what most of the blueprints come with nowadays anyways. So like, if you want to be able to use a blueprint, you would then like have to use gunfighter with it, which I guess, you know, you'd be forcing people to use gunfighter to be able to use a blueprint, which, you know, might have something to do with like a lack of sales or something like that. But, you know, you just have it to where it is now, where with the blueprints, like obviously if you want to use that blueprint, you're still able to change attachments. But you can change any attachments that you want. You can take off any of the attachments that you don't want, and you can do the same thing here, where you still have, you know, that blueprint base with like permanent unlock on the attachments that you want to use. You know, if we're hypothetically keeping the weapon prestige system, which I really like, I think they should keep it. But anyways, like I think there's compromises that can be made to bring a pick 10 system forward. And you could even make it to where it's still a pick 10. It's just gunfighter increases your attachments from 1 to 5 instead. So then you would have to sacrifice even more if you wanted to run, you know, a fully kitted out gunfighter loadout, which, you know, I would love a pick 10 because I rarely ever use my lethals or tacticals. They just kind of sit there and do nothing for me. I would rather use that to try and get like more perks or something like that, or more attachments. Like, it's a trade-off that I would be happy to make, and you don't really have trade-offs like that in the current system. So anyways, I say all this to say there's a way to do it in a way that I think is like still respectful to how it used to work, like it still has the same essence of what it used to be, while merging it with like current day systems so they can still get their paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, you're never gonna convince Activision to choose a system that would mean they can't sell their blueprints, right? But there's very obvious ways that you can compromise, and so I'm hoping we get to see something like this system come back pretty soon. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think of like the potential of a pick 10 system, how you guys think that it could work, because if they're obviously unwilling to make it like a true one-for-one system, we have to be willing to compromise as well, and just sort of, you know, realize that times are different. Yeah, let me know like what kind of system would you guys like to see. Are you willing to make the compromises, or are you not willing to compromise? You know, I think that's fine too. I do think the pick 10 is the superior system to what we have now. I think Gunsmith, you know, it has its pros, it has its cons, just like all the attachments, you know, the 500 attachments that you have to go through. But I do think that the two systems could work together if everybody is willing to make the right compromises. I haven't used these sallies in a long time, like pretty much since they came out, but I've noticed that whenever you're reloading, even if you're just reloading one of the guns, it like doesn't let you shoot the other gun a lot of the time, and it's really annoying. I shouldn't say a lot of the time, sometimes it doesn't, and it's really annoying. Alright, we got about 500 more elims. We're on round 29. I think this match I haven't gotten as many TED tasks as the first one, because we're about 25 minutes in, and we can definitely get like 500 kills in 5 minutes in these later rounds. But I do feel like this one was noticeably slower in the kills department. Just unlucky with TED tasks. Having a wisp out during an insta-kill is sick too, because that wisp just goes to absolute town. It's gone now, but alright, 200 more kills, 80 more kills, and we got a TED task. Absolutely beautiful. Gilded Ruin, there it is. We have finished the 2,500 kills, completed all event challenges. Get out. We have got to see if we were one of the first 100,000 people in the world to unlock this camo. I really hope so, man. So it took, yeah, just under an hour. I think, yeah, my recording is sitting at 1 hour and 8 minutes. I think we started recording roughly like 4 minutes early. So including all the loading screens, we got 1 hour and 4 minutes. We have to go to event. Here, you are one of the first 100,000 players to complete the challenge. We are number 3512 of 100,000, 3,512. So of course we got to take this in game, and we have got to see what it looks like with the serialization on it. Just, dude, I'm so excited. I was worried because there are some absolute demons out there. I thought it was gonna take twice as long as it did for me. I'm really happy that I ended up going with zombies. I'm really curious who ended up getting first, and I want to know who got 141. I think those are going to be the two best versions of this camo to have. So here it is, the serialized Gilded Ruin camo, a 1 of 1 for me with rank number 3,512 in the world. Here it is on the akimbo pistols. You can see it still on the side there, and here it is on the melee. I don't think it actually shows up on the melee, or maybe it's on a side that you can't really see. It may also depend on what the melee is, but yeah, I don't really see it. I thought maybe it'd be on like the handle or like the hilt of the blade or whatever, but either way, we have one other camo to show off. So one more look at it, this time on the EGRT. But of course, we also have the Moonlit Pearl camo that you get for this, and here it is on the Sokol 545, the Moonlit Pearl, I think is what it's called. Still a phenomenal camo. Here it is on the hatchets as well. But I do also want to make sure that you understand, even if you're not one of the first 100,000 people to get the Gilded Ruin camo, you'll still get the camo. It just won't be a serialized version of it. It still is an incredible looking camo. This will also carry forward into MW4, so you get the very tail end of this game as well as the entire year of MW4 with this camo. So I think it was, if you had already pre-ordered, I think it was worth it to try to do this event. Is it worth it to pre-order for this camo? Probably not. Another look at the Moonlit Pearl, this time on the rocket launcher. You get a lot of coverage on this. Obviously, I love checking out camos on this thing. I also put the Gilded Ruin on one more melee just to see, this time on the ballistic knife, to see if you could, since this is a two-hander, maybe it was maybe the serialization is on the karambit, but no, I don't see it anywhere on the melees. I should probably put it on like the chainsaw. Yeah, let me go put this on the chainsaw. I think that's the biggest melee weapon we have, so maybe on the chainsaw it'll have the serialization on it. All right, here we have the chainsaw with on it. I'm not going to go back in the game. It doesn't look like the serialization applies to any of the melee weapons. That is kind of a bummer, but I understand it might be kind of hard to fit that on this. You know, I'm trying to give them a way out. I don't think it would be that hard to make it fit on these, and just because we did every other one, we might as well just do the final melee, the flatline. Once again, the serialization is not on it. But there we have it. That was the entire event. I think it was a really cool event. I hope we get some more serialized camos like this. I do hope they stay rare, so you know, not every camo is going to be serialized, but maybe the mastery camo, that would be really cool to have it serialized, maybe the first like million or so. But anyways, that is gonna wrap it up. Let me know down below what serialization number you got if you participated. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. A like, comment, subscribe would be greatly appreciated. But as always, I appreciate y'all, I love y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.